So I guess capitalism is over. But, like, for Juice, this game is accelerationism. This game is accelerationed. Things went the other direction in America, and thank God for that, but capitalism deserves a zoo like this one. It's a beast of the wild as any grizzly bear with fawn's blood in its mouth. I think you see deeds and contracts and bureaucratic bloat and see that something went wrong. Something was always wrong, y'all. I love it. I love to watch it. In a zoo where it can't hurt me. Sorry for being bored and French. But, like, this is it. This is fucking Nick Land. Like, this is, like, how you get Nick Land without it actually being dangerous to anything. Because his whole thing, at least as filtered through Phil Sandifer, sorry that, like, he keeps coming up, but, like, it's just relevant, right? Like, Near Reaction to Basilisk is deeply relevant to any discussion of the unstoppable force of capitalist weirdness, capitalism as Cthulhu. Rather than far from Cthulhu always swimming left. In fact, swimming right is, well, maybe if Cthulhu is swimming left and you're swimming right by being capitalist, you run into Cthulhu. I don't know. It's a dumb metaphor. Scratch that. The point is, capitalism is fucking the crawling chaos, Nyarlathotep, the voice and messenger of the mindless outer gods, who dance forever to the thumping and piping of the, I don't remember. I don't fucking remember how that whole line goes. It's like a paragraph long. Fuck you, Lovecraft. Fuck you. The point is, capitalism is Nyarlathotep. Capitalism is like the end state of capitalism for land, as interpreted by Sandifer, as parsed through my, disintegrating brain, is an outer god, and we are just the specks that call this mad god into being. Capitalism is the AI waiting at the end of the universe, because it just sort of emerges as this vast systemic force, this madness. And basically what they've got here is they just, like, Juice at least sees this as capitalism unshackled. Capitalism given a playing field to just let its rule sets generate madness, and the result is this football game. So we've gone from Yudkowsky and his anxiety about the sort of the future that we'll all have when we're all immortal, after we're cryogenically frozen. His anxiety about, like, what will the world look like when we are immortal. We've gone from that, and now we've got Nick Land. So the next logical step is, are we going to arrive at Moldbug with his fucking Steve Jobs as CEO King, and also, white nationalism? So here we're back to a lot of kind of Yudkowskian ideas, and this has always been an interesting sort of sticking point for me, because, like, to an extent, I don't know that I necessarily would disagree with this. Like, once you have something that is post-scarcity, do you actually enjoy yourself if everything is sort of done for you? And I think Yudkowsky would answer no, but Yudkowsky also has this horror of a future where you sit around and you, as an individual, end up making 1,000 table legs. As someone that actually is like creatively somewhat gifted, and certainly very interested in being creative, as someone that is crafty in many, many ways, this horror is very, very strange to me. Because, yeah, you know, I can see how downloading directly into my brain the ability to make any table leg that I want, that I wouldn't love. Because there is something to be said for mastering a skill. And there is a pleasure in mastering a skill and producing things creatively for yourself, if for nothing else. And perhaps on an immortal timescale, that would be infeasible. But, like, God, what I could do with just another 100 years and a fucking guaranteed basic minimum income. Like, give me another 100 years, give me a better nose so that I'm not fucking doing this all the time. Give me mincome, mincome, I don't know, whatever the catchy term is for it. Give me a better body, give me a cyborg body with tits, and give me face tentacles. That's not relevant. I just, like, I figure, you know, if I am gonna be listing off what I need, I might as well throw that in, and just give me another century, give me time, and yeah, I'm happy to make 1,000 table legs, because I think it would be interesting to master that and to know it inside and out in the way that is so tied to phenomenology and tied to the tangibility of the medium and tied to mastery of specific tools. Like, it's not enough to just know how to do a thing, it's the actual experiential joy of feeling and manipulating objects. But at the same time, like, do I want to wait on a bus with like, it smells of cigar smoke? Like, not really, because my fucking nose doesn't work, like, my sinuses don't work. That future with allergies sounds like hell. So that's a question for me, is like, alright, like, that seems like a weird thing to want, because I don't want this. Like, my life would be improved if it didn't have allergies. My life would be improved if, like, I didn't live in this apartment that's kind of falling apart and, like, gets mice. I mean, I guess it makes for interesting stories, but, like, it's pretty stressful, you know? Like, we can ratchet that shit back. Waiting in line, that's terrifying. I hate going to, like, fucking offices and waiting around in line and, like, trying to run my plausibly autistic brain through the various scripts that are required to interact with people in a professional and, like, official capacity and get what I need without, like, getting locked up or fucking surprise sent to a hospital, you know? Like, that shit's stressful. I don't need that in my life. So, like, if these 8 billion people can't do anything but just sort of perpetuate the systems besides the nanomachines that keep them safe, like, I don't know about that. I just don't know about that. But what I'm gathering is that this is in the context of, like, what are the dates on these? Let's see. Let's check this out. There's no date on this one. It doesn't exactly look new, though. I mean, this predates fucking area codes, so that's got to be a while. So that's 77. Everyone had what they needed and nobody got sick. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Because, like, what constitutes sick? What is sick? How are we defining sick? What is our theory of sick? Here's from 81. Here's from 80. Here's from 82. Here's from 84. So this page is like this collage of things remaining the same. Here's 86. Here's 87. I'm wondering if these are going chronologically, roughly. 88. 1991. So things are staying the same. You can only hold grand ambitions above your shoulders for so long before you get tired. So, yeah, the idea seems to be, things change, things stay the same. I've seen this described as paradisical, but I don't think that's really... Wait, are we headed towards... Is that possible? Could they do it that well? No, we never quite hit a price of exactly 17,776, but we've got 16,776. That's pretty nice. So close. They got tired. Some lasted longer than others, but they all got tired. That sounds pretty dystopian to me. I don't know. This is interesting. The rhetoric of this has changed. We've got Juice over here. We've got the other two, 9 and 10, over here. And they're not indented. That's interesting. Wow. Okay, this is interesting. So here's an infinite canvas thing. We've got this like cropped off, and we scroll, and there's that. And now I assume we go up. This is awesome. This is very good. Wow. Wow. Yeah, this is depressing as hell. And again, we've got this, like, Okay, so, actually, this is what I'm talking about with the rhetoric, right? So the rhetoric has shifted on this page. The rhetoric has dramatically shifted, in a way that actually, like, stalls out the reading. It damages the game that is being played, and that is deliberate, because we go over here and 10 is bossy and intrusive, and we're trying to navigate a radically altered rhetoric, and 10 is is just sort of bullying us through it, and Hubble is just totally disinterested in making this readable. So the rhetoric there is like parsing out even what is literal here and what is figurative, like how much the color is literal and how much is figurative is pretty ambiguous. And again, we've got space here used as this experience of vastness. The weight and enormity of eternity is something that we're being made to experience. I would normally say invited, but I think that we're forced to experience it here because the very format of the infinite canvas demands that we navigate the space in a particular way if we're going to follow the narrative at all. And so we're forced to experience a space that threatens to render meaning unintelligible. I don't know either. That's not pastel. That's a pastel filter. The point of play is to distract yourself from play being the point. This is interesting. So they're talking about spaces that no one's ever walked on, and a lawn that no one's ever set foot directly on in thousands and thousands of years, because the only person to ever go on it is someone riding a riding mower. Personally, I've seen enough. It's like watching the Earth orbit the sun and going, maybe this time it'll go in a square instead of an oval. Nah. You know who would have wandered out there just to do it? Children. But there's no children. And that's weird to me, because I'm the kind of person that just would walk on a lawn like that, because, why not? I mean, I don't do that so much anymore, but, I do that in Toronto. Oh, here's a random walkway that goes between two buildings and then up some stairs. Let's walk down it. Let's just see. When I was a kid, we used to walk around Allentown on the way to the library. And we'd go through all these alleyways, and there'd be these alleyway gardens that, people's backyards, they have these tiny little yards in Allentown, and they would just fill them with this overflowing abundance of plants. And so you'd walk down this alleyway, and it would be you'd just suddenly be surrounded by greenery. And yeah, it's totally possible that most adults wouldn't enter into a space like that. But, I don't know. It's hard for me to imagine a world in which there aren't people like me just wandering around. Because who knows? Who knows what might be there? I could be wow, how interesting here, but I think you know by now that I'm interested, it's interesting. There's not a lot for me to say, really. There's just not a lot of wow, holy shit, what does this mean? Oh my god. Okay, what the fuck? What? Oh boy. I mean, this doesn't seem ideal to me. This doesn't really seem utopian. But, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm just not enlightened enough. Maybe I'm just not enlightened enough to understand the deep, joy of, dicking around with technology that doesn't work properly. I'd like to just get on with my day, mostly. I can't believe this is so intense. This is, nuts. This is bonkers. That's actually horrifying. That's the introduction of, like, okay, so yeah, we've got this woman who's like desperate for a goal of like any sort, and it looks like she might reach her sort of pointless, useless, self-directed goal, and fucking in the middle of that we get this nebula. It's interesting that Hubble is introduced as a character that doesn't talk much, and he's introduced as the person that showed humanity the universe, a universe which is impossible to get to and empty, just totally devoid. And so, like, it's fascinating that, like, Hubble doesn't speak. Hubble provided those images and doesn't speak, and actively makes it difficult for us as readers to parse his text. There's an element of the kind of inscrutable God to Hubble, the kind of Lovecraftian God, really. Giving us these visions of eternity that we can't actually deal with at all. So like an eternal light bulb was just destroyed, and we've got these news clippings. It's interesting that like two of these from a decade apart have really, really similar syntax, which sort of like, if Boyce's point is that there's this kind of recurrence to human patterns, that's another one of those things that's like kind of a strong argument for that. I really relate to the character in this section, Lucretia. I think she's similar to me in that I need to have an idea of what I'm doing. I don't really know how to relax, because like I don't know what to do with myself if I don't have something that I'm working towards. Which doesn't necessarily help me finish anything ever. I never really finish things. Occasionally finish articles, I guess. But, like, I get just the ambivalence about free time and having time to do things. So, Lucretia, my reflection, dance the ghost with me. So we've got an interaction here between someone who I guess has been buried for 9,000 years and become like a fucking urban legend, and someone who's part of a religious group that walks up and down the US talking to everyone there. And this is fascinating because this is a kind of fail state that emerges out of the arbitrary rules people have constructed to deal with eternity. It's another paradox emerging from complex rule sets, because both of these actors have different things that they want to accomplish. They have different goals that are mutually contradictory. One to document everyone in the region, and the other to remain hidden. And because these goals are existential goals, because the nature of this reality is such that these meaningless rule sets have existential weight, because there is only existentialism. This is an absolutist existentialist reality. Because of that, like, these two agents are locked in a paradoxical situation where the existential meaning of one inherently requires the obliteration of the other. I don't know what to say about that beyond, wow, that's intense. Well, that was horrible. Jesus. Jesus Christ. My God. It's the fucking... It's that game. Well, that's fitting. I don't really know what to do with this. It's a lot. I mean, it's good. Yeah, I don't know. That's it. I could do a whole don't forget to like and subscribe bit here, but yeah, I'm tired and emotionally drained from this whatever it is. I have no idea if this footage is usable because it's fucking hours and hours and hours of footage. I'm gonna sort of like wander through this fucking void of my own babble and just silently reading this project. God damn it. But yeah, wandering the void, that's what it's all about. God. I don't know quite what to do with this project yet, but I've got material. And making meaning, I guess, is what we humans do. Yeah, that seems to be the through line, is sort of fundamentally existentialist. What we humans do is make meaning. Alright. Okay. Good night, everyone.